30 things you didn't know were toxic. Every day we're exposed to a large variety of items that we're either eating, touching, or just being exposed to. And unbeknown to us, a large number of them are highly toxic, either to us or animals. Today, we have a look at some of the items that we really should watch out for, or ensure stays far, far away from our animals. Number 30. Oleander. Oleander is a type of shrub or small tree that is pretty poisonous. Just how poisonous might just shock you though. One leaf is so toxic it can be fatal to a small child. If you have these growing around your home, play it safe and rather have them removed. Number 29. Cherry seeds. Honestly, you'd have to consume so many of these to see any of the dangers that they pose. But yes, cherry seeds are very dangerous. They contain hydrogen cyanide, which is the same gas that was used in gas chambers all those years ago. Number 28. Grapes and raisins. Our pets are like children, so you need to be very aware of what they can and cannot eat. And grapes and raisins are definitely foods you need to steer away from. They have been known to cause kidney failures in dogs. Look out for vomiting, diarrhea, or a loss of appetite, and take your pet to the vet immediately if you suspect that they may have consumed any grapes or raisins. Number 27. Single-use laundry pods. Yes, they do make life a lot simpler, but they are also a hazard in the home, particularly if there's a small child around. If a kid had to consume regular washing powder or the liquid detergent, they would probably just have a bad tummy ache, and that's about it. But these pods are much more dangerous. It's been said that kids that ingest these could find themselves in a coma, suffer respiratory arrest, or pulmonary edema. Since 2016, 2 children have been pulled through after eating a single-use pod. Stick to the regular kinds of laundry detergent if your kids are younger than 6 years old. Number 26. Green potatoes. Potatoes are what keep many people motivated. Whether they're mashed, fried, crushed, or roasted, they're always delicious. However, there is a right and a wrong time to eat a potato, and the wrong time is when the potato has turned a shade of green and is sprouting. Those potatoes can be rather dangerous. Also, the leaves, stems, and sprouts of a potato contain glycococcolloids, which is a common poison in many flowering plants called nightshades. Number 25. Air fresheners. These come in many different varieties, from candles, sprays, to plug-in versions and more. However, research has proven that they are not the healthiest items to have in your home. Due to the scents being completely condensed versions, they're crammed with chemicals and artificial fragrances to achieve that. One study proved that out of 14 air fresheners that they tested, 12 of them contained phthalates, which are hormone-disrupting chemicals, and these even include brands marked all natural and unscented. Number 24. Daffodils. It's hard to believe that something so beautiful as a daffodil can be dangerous. But they contain lycorine, which is an alkaloid. You'll only find yourself in trouble if you devoured a number of daffodil bulbs, which I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be doing anyway. Accidental poisoning has been known to occur in people who have mistaken the daffodil bulbs for onions. Number 23. Green tomatoes. Tomatoes, when they're ripe, are obviously totally okay to eat. What's not so good is when they're green, and eating their leaves and stems are also not such a bright idea. They have a toxin called tomatine, which is actually in pest control. Number 22. Macadamia nuts. These delicious nuts are never to be given to your dog. Although eating them is rarely fatal, they can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and depression in your pooch. Some dogs have been known to suffer from muscle tremors or weakness, with symptoms lasting up to 48 hours. Number 21. Glow sticks. What's a childhood, and in fact even adulthood, without the occasional need for glow sticks? They are completely harmless when the liquid remains inside the plastic casing. But if a kid somehow manages to break open the packaging, the chemical can be hugely irritating to the skin, eyes, and mouth. There is a chemical called dibutylphthalate inside, and it won't fatally harm you, but you will feel very uncomfortable. If you or your child is exposed to the liquid, rinse it out straight away and drink water if ingested. If it's more than a mouthful, seek medical attention. Number 20. Raw cashews. First of all, you gotta know this one. When you're buying raw cashews from the store, they're actually not 100% raw, because if they were, who knows what could happen to you. They've probably been steamed to remove a harmful chemical called urushiol. If you were consuming real raw cashews, you could depart from this life, never to return again. Not the best way to go. Number 19. Nutmeg. In small quantities, nutmeg can be good for you. but in large doses can be the exact opposite. Nutmeg contains myristicin, a toxin that can cause hallucinations, convulsions, palpitations, nausea, dehydration, and worse. There's even a phrase called nutmeg psychosis, which sums up everything we just described. Number 18. Lily. These flowers are highly toxic to cats and can cut their lives short. Keep them far away from your feline companion. The entire plant is toxic, and if consumed, it can cause complete kidney failure within 72 short hours. Even eating a small amount could be lethal. Number 17. Uncooked kidney beans. Again, not sure why you'd consider consuming uncooked kidney beans, but in case you're ever faced with this peculiar situation, just don't do it. They contain a toxin called lectin, which causes diarrhea, vomiting, and eternal rest. Number 16. Onions and garlic. So tasty for humans, but certainly not for our pets. This includes leeks and chives, and should your pet eat these, they could get very, very sick. N-propyl disulfide is a substance found inside of these vegetables, which dogs and cats are unable to process. It ends up damaging their hemoglobin, making it difficult to carry oxygen throughout their bloodstream. Number 15. Hand sanitizer. We use hand sanitizer to stay healthy, not to make us sick. Yet when ingested, it can be very harmful. Often, hand sanitizers come in bright colors with interesting textures, making it appealing for small kids to want to eat. But hand sanitizers contain high amounts of alcohol. Some products have up to 95% alcohol in them, which could lead to alcohol poisoning in children. Rather just wash your hands the old-fashioned way and keep yours out of reach. Number 14. Lima beans. We've already added red kidney beans to our list of dangerous items, but let's add lima beans too. These beans contain linamarin, which is a chemical compound that can turn into the chemical hydrogen cyanide. You'd have to consume a massive amount of these beans before you'll get ill, so just make sure you cook and drain your beans properly, and you'll be fine. Number 13. Mushrooms. As a rule of thumb, you really shouldn't worry about mushrooms, especially those that you buy in the shop. But there are a number of varieties that can make you very ill and prove to be fatal. There are around 100 species of mushrooms that are very dangerous to humans, bringing on headaches, seizures, and permanent end to life. In 2010, 400 people consumed a small variety of mushroom that brought their lives to a standstill. They called it Little White, and it caused cardiac arrest in its victims. Number 12. Rapeseed oil. There's a lot of controversy surrounding rapeseed oil, with many advocating for health benefits of this natural oil, while others claiming it to be very unsafe to consume. Reports have suggested that the rape plant, from where the oil is from, is highly toxic. Side effects of consuming too much of the oil include breathing problems and possible blindness. It doesn't happen overnight, but rather over years of consuming the product. Number 11. Tree seed oil. Tree seed oil is known to cure a number of ailments, from acne to dry scalp, fungal infections to head lice, and everything in between. But it's only for topical use. Swallowing the stuff can be lethal, especially in large quantities. One report of a child going into a coma after swallowing has been reported. Thankfully, all was fine in the end though. Number 10. Rhubarb. Thankfully, your rhubarb eating days are not over. But just be aware that the leaves of the rhubarb plant contain oxalic acid, which is not safe to consume. Some of the awful side effects include a burning sensation, hectic coughing, wheezing, struggling to breathe, laryngitis, inflammation of the bronchi, and I could go on, but I think you get the gist. Number 9. Aloe vera. For you, it's totally fine, but not so for your pets. Aloe vera is slightly toxic for dogs and cats, and can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and lethargy. Fortunately, it's not lethal, but rather take your pet to the vet if they have accidentally swallowed any aloe vera. Number 8. Elderberries. These berries are often used in jams, cordials, wines, and teas, and have a very distinct flavor to them. Their seeds and leaves also have a distinct flavor, but you wouldn't want to sample them. Reason being, they contain fatal levels of cyanide-producing glycoside. Preparing elderberries for use has to be done very carefully too, as if they are not strained properly or not quite ripe, they can cause nausea, potential coma, and end the living as you know it. Number 7. Lipstick. Luckily these days, there are strict rules and regulations when it comes to ingredients in the products. That coming across a lipstick that contains lead might not happen that readily. However, research have confirmed that there are 400 lipsticks on the market that tested positive for lead. Too much lead can cause huge issues, including anemia, weakness, and kidney and brain damage. In lipsticks, the dosage is so small that it's unlikely to cause any of those symptoms, but why take the chance? Read the ingredients list before purchasing any old lipstick. Number 6. Castor oil. Castor is a plant that produces a seed or a bean that we extract oil from. Castor oil is often used in chocolate and candies, and then it's all good, safe, and delicious. However, the seeds contain ricin, and that could be lethal. The seeds do contain a hard shell or covering, so if you swallow them whole, you would be okay. But if you were to chew the actual bean inside, that could be fatal. Number 5. Holly. It may seem like a great idea to fill your home with holly this holiday season, but just keep your pets in mind. Holly is slightly toxic to cats and dogs, and besides causing vomiting and diarrhea, it is said it even brings on depression in your animals. Number 4. Cassava. The name cassava may not be too familiar, but it's the root vegetable that we get tapioca from. Cultivated in South America, cassava is super tasty when prepared correctly. If it's ingested raw or not prepared properly, it can turn into hydrogen cyanide. There are 2 different kinds of cassava, a sweet and a bitter kind. The sweet kind is the less dangerous of the 2, but even that prepared incorrectly could bring down a cow, let alone a human being. Number 3. Apples. We all know the health benefits of eating an apple, and even if you were to consume the seeds every day, you'd be fine. But consume a huge amount of them and you could be crossing the Rainbow Bridge in no time. Number 2. Mercury. There are still a number of products that contain mercury, such as batteries, some fluorescent light bulbs and lamps, and thermometers. Swallowing this stuff is definitely not a good idea. Although a small amount won't be fatal, but small amounts over a long period of time can be. Number 1. Xylitol. Xylitol is often used as a sugar substitute in many of our foods, medicines, gum, and candy. And although it's safe for us, it's certainly not safe for your pets. Xylitol leads to low blood pressure in animals, liver failure, and seizures. And sure, it's kept very far away from your pets. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to our channel for more daily videos. See you next time.